All my life, I never thought I would be here. In college basketball, of all places. I mean, I told y'all before, I always just wanted to be a street baller, but I guess the higher ups at Colorado convinced me to come alongside Jamal Crawford. But here I was, opening night, and I was taking on a blue blood in UCLA. They wanted to start off their title hopes well, and people didn't really have a lot of expectations for us. They just thought we'll be this fun, flashy little team that'll make it to the first round and probably get bounced. But me personally, I had bigger plans. I had bigger goals. Honestly, we all did. We wanted to show these teams, this country, everyone, from media to fans to other players, that we were a team that was for real. And it started tonight on our home court with the students, with the fans, all being here. Yeah, it wasn't packed out, say other places, but they were still here to support us. And me personally, I wasn't looking to let them down. But as we walked onto the court and me and my homeboy went to one end to do our pregame, I felt myself locking in. This was just like any other game. Street ball, organized, it didn't matter. Basketball was basketball. And I loved playing it. And whoever was in front of me tonight was finna get the working of an absolute lifetime. Coming out the gate, UCLA tried to get going with a three, but I got the rebound and I had one thing on my mind: get downhill. And no matter who tried to stop me, it didn't work as I hit the clean and one for my first points as a buff. I think that clearly showed UCLA what I was about. And after getting that 3-point play, hit a nice little spin jumper over the top of them for the first 5 points for the team. But they didn't go away early as we were tied 7-7. As I got out to Williams, I was able to set him a good screen and he faded for the three. Coach wanted me to be a team player, and that's exactly what I was going to be. As I set up a quick little ISO on this man, because I felt like I had the pace, got right around him, laid it up and in. And just like that, we were up 12-7 early on, and I felt like I was already in my groove. And even though we was up 6, I kept attacking with a nice 2-hand slam to put us up 8 as we ended the first quarter. Early on, I felt clean. I felt good. It felt like a normal basketball game to me. These lights, they weren't getting to me at all. UCLA continued to claw back, making it a 4-point game. We went right back to our pick and roll, and I went right back to the rim, slamming it home with one hand to push us back up to a 22-16 lead. But as the team got going, I felt myself needing to make more plays, as a tough little lay over two people got us up 24-16. And next time when I came back in towards the end of the half, I did a nice little scoop lay. I had to show off, one time real quick to put us up 9. But I mean, I had everybody oohing and awing though. I mean, come on, you got to show out at least once or twice, But as we went into the half, the team felt good. I felt good. And no matter what, we felt like we were walking out of here with a win. Heck, I even chucked a quarter court shot even though I knew it was going to miss. But coach was telling us to stay focused. UCLA wasn't just going to lay down and let us have our opening night win. And he was exactly right, because next thing we knew, it was a 5-point game, and old boy sent my stuff into the stands. I felt kind of pissed off, but coach told me to sit down, and I didn't get back in until the fourth quarter. At that point, we were up 42-35, but I continued doing what I did best, which was getting to the rim and slamming it home, because no one, and I mean no one, got the speed I got. And as we got late, old boy decided to sag off me. And I said, oh man, you gonna be that disrespectful? Let me put 3 in your dome real quick. At that point, I felt like we had it under control. And I started hitting my other teammates like Lampkins, forget they let them eat too. But just when we thought it was safe, it was an 8-point game. But I said, let me put this game away real quick with 3 more to the head. And by that point, it was all but over as Lampkin hit another dunk. And we left out of Colorado at home opening night with an 11-point win over UCLA. When I walked off the court and I looked at the comments and I looked at the discourse, I think we opened up a lot of eyes opening night to let them know we were here to stay. We were here to play. And no team was safe. We just beat a team with national title aspirations. And not only beat them, we won by 11. Coach also told me I was player of the game, and that felt good. A lot of people was asking who I was, where I came from. I just had to, cheekily say on social media, I was here. Next up, we were back at home, but this time we had a much, much bigger opponent. The Duke Blue Devils, the perennial national championship favorites for seemed like every single year. And I heard the talks. We all did. Cool, you beat UCLA. They find a way to choke early in the season and figure it out. Now though, they got Duke. Duke's gonna run right through Colorado. We heard it all, and honestly, coming in, we weren't scared, we weren't nervous, we was ready. I was ready. A lot of people called my game a fluke, that there's no way I could do it again, especially against a team like Duke. With their defense, with their interior work, it seemed like everyone was just waiting for me to fall off. So I felt like I had a point to prove tonight. No matter how big you are, about how storied you are, when you step on the court with me, you just another basketball player. And I'm ready to go to work. And even though Duke got the tip and Roach brought it down, they clearly said, we are coming for y'all. Because what felt like 15 seconds, Proctor already laid it up in and we were down 2. I wasn't going to go down easily. I was making my own statement. And even though he tried to guard me tough, I had a nice finish that rimmed out, but Simpson got it, bang, and just like that, we was back up 3. But unfortunately, I was ball watching and let Roach hit a 3 of his own to give them their 2-point lead back. And I knew, okay, we got to lock in here. And I got a nice little dip in, but it just seemed like the ball did not want to get into the hole. And I struggled to start it off. But you know what? I said, I'm not just a shooter. I got the rebound, drove right back in. I tried to lay it up, but then once again, another miss. But I got the steal, held it up, found my boy De Silva in the corner, bang. And just like that, we're back up 2. And if I couldn't get it offensively, I was about to get it defensively, even though Roach was giving me all I could handle as he hit a nice little midi along the baseline. And right now it's a back and forth game. And I could tell that, honestly, my intangibles was going to get us through this game as I tried to drive inside, got blocked by Roach, called for De Silva to set me another screen to try to at least get him open. But this time I was able to get in and lay it up and in and give us a 2-point advantage. I had to use what coach was giving me to get the job done because Roach, that kid could ball, bro. He took me right inside and I thought they called the foul on me, but they gave it to De Silva. And I got sat on the bench because coach saw I was struggling. And even when I came back in, I was struggling to stop their cuts and their drive to the paint. And just like that, we were down 22-16 and Dak this time was able to put it up and in to at least cut the lead a little bit, but I was being stagnant offensively. But finally they ran a play for me, but I still couldn't hit inside. I don't know what was going on. And Lampkin this time set a screen for me, and this time I got the lay, but I knew I was struggling to start. And Coach Joe kept trusting in me, kept running me plays, and this time, even though I got bumped and no foul was called, I was able to lay it up and in to give us a tie. And even though Duke immediately answered back, I found Dak inside to cut it down to 1. And as we went into the half, down 1, I was frustrated. I didn't know what was going on. It seemed like I was getting clamped and all the eyes was looking at me. And I could feel them just getting their comments ready that it was a fluke. But coming out in the second half, I stepped back, pulled up in his face, bang. Give us a 2-point lead. And I felt like that was the shot I needed to get going. I tried to take him again, spin move, fake the jumper, but I had to throw up a bad shot there. And it was another miss. But I had just to get back on defense. And even though Stewart tried to dunk it on my head, I got enough of the ball to knock it away. And by the time in the scramble, they threw it away. And now I was on the fast break for a nice little dunk to give us our lead back. I had to do what I had to do, I couldn't get it done offensively like I did game one. I had to be stingy on defense. I had to do the other things and get my teammates involved. And even though I ran off the screen, it left me a wide open lane for a dunk. And slowly but surely, I was finding my footing in this game, right when my team needed it the most. As I grabbed another board, got ready to push the break, slowed it up, let my boys run the play, get the screen, go around, go into the corner, Hadley for 3, bang. And just like that, we were up 46-39 late in this game. But Duke being Duke would not go away as McCain hit a 3 to make it a 4-point game. And even though we pushed it back up to 7, they would not go away. 5-point game now. Mitchell, jumper, hits it again, 3-point game now. And a game that we thought was safe got really close, but luckily I fed my guys like Simpson and we was able to escape with a 3-point lead, 3-point win, 60-57, and starting off nice with 2 big wins at home. It wasn't my best game, but as long as my team got the job done, I was happy. And man, it's frustrating because I know I'm better than this. But I had to push it aside and get ready for the next game because we were going on the road to Lawrence to take on Kansas. And that was going to be a fight and a half. Coach, he told me I was player of the game again. And this time I didn't know how I was. But you know what? I guess I'll take the accolades as they come. But man, me personally, for my standards, I gotta be better. I gotta do better. I gotta play. 6 of 18? 22 points and 7 assists, sure, but 6 of 18. I struggled, man. This Kansas game, I gotta bounce back. After that game, we traveled all the way down to Lawrence to take on the high-powered Kansas Jayhawks. All eyes was on this game, and we knew if we was able to get a win here, we would put the entire nation on notice. And after my so-so game, I knew I had to play better as well. And even though Kansas was 15-12 to start the season and low-key struggling to get going, we knew we couldn't take them lightly, especially on their home court. Everybody was packed. Everybody was screaming. There was signs everywhere. I think I heard someone say I was trash like 50 times before this game started. Heck, before I even walked in the building. But I put that all to the side now, because all I cared about was balling out and getting the job done against this blue blood and showing everybody, from the media to the fans to the scouts, that I was a real deal. And everybody knew it was going to be me versus Harris, the 2 guards leading their teams. And I knew I wanted to put that man not only on a poster, but in my catalog of guards I dropped off. But little did I know, this game was about to be an all-out war, starting from the very first tip. But, y'all get to see it right here, right now. And who knew? When Kansas won this tip, they were not playing. Even though they started off with a miss and my boy Simpson got the rebound, I made a nice little cut, lay up and in on him. And I knew I had the height on him, and I probably had the strength on him. I just had to take him inside like I knew I was going to. And after a screen, I rose up and slammed it down on the big man as well. And I had to flex on him real quick. But Harris, that boy did not come to sit down, came right back at my big man and ended up putting one in. But I returned the favor with a pretty little spin move and putting it up. Then took him right back in the paint, hit a fader right in his face, and just like that, we was up 8-2 to start this game. But Kansas was not going anywhere as I threw the ball straight to Harris. And I was playing the drive. He ended up just passing off to his big man. And just like that, we went from 8-2 to 8-6. But I wasn't about to be scared of them. Drove it right back inside, slammed it home, and I put us right back up 10-6. And I was letting every fan know, nah, I'm here to play. And y'all better bring it. Because if not, I'm going to drop them off. But next thing I realized, we was down 3. And I was trying to facilitate, give it to my boy Williams for a nice little assist to make it a 1-point game. But the more we played, the more Kansas started to pull away as they switched a bigger man on me in Jackson, and he drove all the way inside. But on defense, they left Harris on me. And man, that man was stripping me, drove right inside, got the foul. And I was like, what is going on? And even then, tried to drive inside, make a pass, get stripped, and Harris picks up the ball, give it up to Mukler for another foul. And next thing I know, looking up, going into the half, we were slowly fading back. It was 27-19, and there was nothing I could do. Harris absolutely clamped me down. But I got the ball, was forced to chuck up a very tough jumper over him and missed it. And then Harris comes right back down, drives me right inside, passes back to Adams, up to McCooler, and just bang, thank you, he missed. Over 24 seconds, tried to get me the ball, and Harris just tipped it out of bounds. And I was low-key getting frustrated. And even though it was a 5-point game and my hot start, I cooled significantly off. I knew going into the second half, I had to turn it up, because if I didn't, Kansas might drown us in deep waters. I gotta do something, man. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming out in the second half, I knew I had to get going. And as I made that cut, I put on down a ferocious slam to make it a 3-point game. I wanted Harris to know, just because I had a bad end to the first half, I wasn't going down quietly. Neither was me or my team. But down low, we was just struggling as Kansas got free buckets inside. And then even with a hand in their face, they're just hitting buckets. And we had to call a timeout because we went from down 3 to down 8 so freaking quickly. But after a setup, a screen, Harris saw it coming, stole it from me, went right inside, right around me, and laid it up and in. And to see him go down the court flexing and celebrating, that hit something in me. I had to get it back. As I called for another screen, I tried to go round again. He ended up tipped it again, put it back inside, gave it back to me. And now with 8 on the clock, trying to make something happen, nothing's getting open. Calling for a screen with 4 on the clock. He's all up in my grill. 1 on the clock, had to put up a tough jump shot that ended up rimming out. And next thing I knew, I just felt cold, man. I couldn't get nothing on this kid. And Harris just passing it off, feeding his guys, and they're hitting threes. And it seemed like there was nothing we could do to get back in this game. But luckily, the bench was able to pull within a 4-point game. I was able to hit a contested jumper to make it 2. And even though we had them on a scoring drought, we ended up making it a tie game after I ended up cutting and getting a bucket. And I felt more confident now that we were back in this game. And I drove back inside, hit the Silva for the slam, even though I had the lane. I don't know, I just didn't trust myself driving inside, so I dished it off. And luckily, we ended up having a small 2-point lead. But Jackson tied it up for Kansas, and next thing I knew, 18 on the clock. Chance for one shot. Tried to call a screen, it didn't work. Went right back inside to Simpson. I ended up getting space. He ended up pump faking and putting up a contested shot that rimmed out to Jackson. Next thing I know, it's 3 on the clock, and he chucked it from half court to go out. And next thing I knew, we was in overtime. I mean, being in overtime against one of the best teams in the nation is not nothing to scoff at, given who we are, but we so could have won that game. And I know I wasn't playing well, but if he just would have passed it to me, I would have probably had a better shot, maybe even a dunk or a foul, but I couldn't think about that right now. We were going to overtime, and we had to get the job done. To get this win would mean so freaking much to this program, but Harris, he had a lot to say about it. Coming out the break, hit a 3 to call a quick timeout. And Jackson hitting a contested layup, and just like that, they were up 5. And I was turning the ball over. Tried to get it to my guy in the corner, ended up giving it away. And Jackson hits the and one, and just like that, with less than a minute to go, we were down 5, and everyone was heated. I tried to calm my boy down, but Simpson just wasn't having it. And even though we were down 6, I tried to put up a 3, made it finally to make it a 3-point game. But unfortunately, we couldn't get any closer. Ended up losing 60-55. It was an all right game, and a lot of media and fans were saying we put up quite a fight against a blue blood. But I was upset. More so, I was pissed. Pissed at myself. I had such a bad game. 9 of 21, while Harris had 11 points on 4 of 9 shooting and 5 assists and 3 steals. I believe all 3 on me. I have to turn it around for my fans, for me, for the team. I gotta put in that work, man.